Hey guys, Road Warrior back here. Recently I was asked to do a lure series, so I'm going to do that here on my channel. I'm going to start with the topwater lures first. Here I'm just kind of overviewing the shop, showing you the different ones. We got walkers, poppers, major poppers, frogs, frog poppers, toppers, mice, that sort of thing. When I'm kind of going through here, I would say, some of the stuff can be pretty expensive. Through my experience, I think if you were to ever spend bait coins on these things. You can, at the Everglades in particular, I would kind of save your money. Now, throughout the game, I would definitely say the perch walker is definitely worth bait coins, no matter what size you're wanting to get there, depending on what you're going for, as well as that acid walker. And again, the major popper green ones, whether you're doing a 5.0, 3.0, or 7.0, those all seem to be worth the bait coins to me, for sure. Just kind of wanted to throw that out there as we look through the shop here. Now, on the mice itself, I've got the gray mouse, but I don't know that I would necessarily say that it was worth the bait coins. I think the black one works just fine. Now the toppers, I think that black and red topper is actually worth the bait coins, just to have an extra one there in your tackle box later on through the game. Now, something I'll explain later in the video, I'm actually going to throw buzz baits in topwater for me. For whatever reason, Fishing Planet puts them with spinners. That doesn't make sense, but for this video, I'm going to put them in there. Okay, now for the setup, guys, here's the small Jig Winner 810. And the first clip I'll be at the Everglades. These are kind of the ones I'll use at Salinge, just kind of showing you a setup if you're curious. And then on the Jig Winner there, I got two different reels. One just kind of giving you an option. For topwater, I actually like the Imperial, but I'll just kind of show you the difference there. There's the Bremer on it, and then there's the little Imperial. It's a slower recovery, so I think it's a little better for topwater. To each their own, though. Both will probably work, but better success on that one. Okay, guys, starting here with the frog popper. Now, if you don't have the X Series frog popper, the frog poppers will work. But like I said, there's more ways to catch bass here. Early on, I definitely would not recommend getting the frog poppers from the shop, because you can catch them on bass, jigs, spoons, all kinds of other things. So just early on in the game, when you don't have very many bait coins, I definitely would not buy your frog poppers. You don't need them, to be honest with you. But in the event that you do have one, you've already purchased it, just kind of showing you. They're basically going to just work like a popper. However, the big key tip there, or the advantage, I would say, is they're weedless. So that, and I'll kind of just show you in various spots as me farming here at the Everglades with them, and as well as the setup, the Jig Winner with the Imperial. Again, wanting to work. Obviously here I can take this line right here. Even though that fish bit that back there, I can put myself in a position where you can go through the weeds. Since it's a weedless lure, it's a frog and a popper, kind of a hybrid, so to speak. And I'm just demonstrating here. You can use it differently, and in an upcoming clip I'll show you me using a popper. But in the event that you want to take a line where you want to run right through the moss, and again right here you'll see this is a perfect example, as well as this reel speed. I start out on reel speed 2 here, knowing that I can manipulate the speed, so to speak, by simply going 1 and up. Now that I haven't had a bite here, and I know I'm getting ready to get in the strike zone, I can see I'll click this down to 1 speed, and I'm going to work it right through the vegetation and pull this trophy right out of here. And that's one kind of key tip I wanted to kind of give you when you're using these things, whether you're at Quanchkin, anywhere that's got a bunch of lily pads and vegetation. Definitely don't hesitate to use a slower reel speed. As you can see, I'm going right through the grass, right through the muck. I'm not getting hung up. Boom. There's a nice little payday for a lower level guy that might want it. Again, that's a big advantage of the frog poppers and the frogs in general. Now the walkers, they're going to get hung up and that sort of thing, so they're not weedless. But again, the frogs and the frog poppers are similar. Again, the frog's going to swim, the frog poppers are going to pop and kind of swim, so to speak. So just food for thought. Again, as you're looking and reviewing this video, that's kind of what my thoughts were there. So in the event that you did not know that. Now moving forward, I'm switching off here to the Jig Winner with the faster reel speed, just showing you it does work. Put a frog on here. Again, you don't have to have these, but I do have them in my tackle box, so that's what I'm using. Now these will bite here on just your regular frogs in the shop. I've got a buddy that had a screenshot of the 2.0, the regular green one from the shop, that's got uniques too. So just keep that in mind, but I'm just showing you for the purpose of the video, just kind of how to use them if you did not know how to use them. Same kind of a thing there, just reel and walk it. That's a small one there, but again, I can take a line. Here's a perfect example. You wanted to cast, if I wanted to cast up in there. Also in this spot too, don't lose your lures. Make sure I'll kind of show you, I'm really experiencing this sort of thing. Now again, this is X Series. My point is there is gar here, so be extremely careful. You'll notice there I 2-clicked down trying to keep that stress meter there. Just kind of an advanced tip. Keep your stress meter down. Again, don't get mad at me when you lose your lures. Take these risks at your own. In other words, I'm not running a leader. If I was to get the unique there, it is possible I could get bit off. So be very careful around and throughout the game. If there's something that can bite your line in half, if you want to use a leader, use a leader. The way I usually do it is I'll click down and try to keep the max on. But do those things at your own risk. But there's a nice trophy gar off a frog right through the weeds. Now moving on to the regular poppers. Just kind of showing you here. This is even the slower reel speed. Just wanting to keep it in the strike zone a little better. And that's why I like the slower reel speed for the most, players that played for a while will agree. Topwater just kind of depends, but most people, I think, definitely would say that the slower reel speed is a little better. Now, the trade-off is you have to be careful on fish that are really fast. In other words, they can spit the hook on you. But this one here, as you can see, ends up being a nice unique here. And also on the jig winner, you notice there I threw a 3/4 on that. It's not going to break your rod. It'll say it's a little heavy, but it will not break your rod. But, kind of pay attention to those sort of things. You don't want to put a 1 ounce on a jig winner, but a 3/4 ounce will do well. As you can see, the unique there, just off of the standard 3/4 4.0 popper. Now we're going to move on to Salinge and cover the other lures. Here's the just a walker here. Again, I like the green ones that are bait coins. If you don't have them, the other ones will work, but the green one I like. The perch walker also works well throughout the game, depending on what you're going for. But I have both of them in my tackle box. Again, once you have more bait coins, that sort of thing. But I will attest, most people will as well. The perch walker and the acid walker here, both are good and definitely worth the bait coins. There I'm just, reeling, walking. Also, a key note too, if you're wanting a manual walk, basically you're just reeling, cranking your rod tip up. Another thing too, it's kind of debate among the community. There's no foolproof way of making sure that the fish gets on there. Sometimes I'll hesitate. There I kept going. This kind of depends on what the fish is doing, in my opinion. In other words, if it's following it and it misses, you might hesitate and don't jerk your rod tip up. Just reel. That way you're not trying to set the hook as the fish is hitting, if that makes any sense. It's something that you have to work on. Now moving on here to the mice. Same kind of a thing. They're basically just a walker. I don't cover the mice too much. I do love the mice in the game, but they're so similar to a walker. Kind of self-explanatory here. You're just kind of reeling, walking. And also, as you can see here, I hesitated right there. If you notice that, I still missed it. Thinking it might come back. So this time I hesitate again, giving him a chance to hit. Okay, there's a perfect example. That fish is confused, so don't keep popping your rod tip up. Let him find the lure. Just simply reel in that moment. I hope you guys, if you needed to, rewind that and you'll see exactly what I was talking about. And that will come with experience. Now, as far as toppers, 3 different ways to use them. You can reel in. Here's a straight retrieve. They will hit that. That's probably the most boring way for me. But sometimes in the game you'll find that maybe that's what the fish wants. The second way to use it, this is my, I kind of go back and forth sometimes depending on what my luck is. I do like the reel and twitch. Depending on what fish I'm going for. I know the Tri-Era absolutely love the reel and twitch with these toppers. They will hit the stop and go as well, or the straight, but at the reel and twitch, for me, even I can demonstrate here on the Taman, reel and twitching. Same kind of a thing here. I see it's falling. Did you see why I did not lift my rod tip up? You'd have to rewind that to see that, but I knew it was falling it, so I quit twitching. I actually was just reeling. Even though that's a 35 pounder, I did not miss that fish. Keynote, again, you guys practice with all this stuff. I know I got my buddy John, not to name names, he misses a lot of hook sets. This kind of comes with experience, not to pick on him because I do miss too, but there, see, I couldn't have did any better there. Hesitated, that one flew off the screen. Okay, now, you'll note here, very next cast, I do the same thing, but it actually works. You'll notice that, I'm moving on to a stop and go now. Another way to do it as well, just simply stop, go, reel. In other words, reel, don't reel. Just a little pause in between something. Try to if you can, focus on getting at least a steady 2 dot. Also, sometimes you might want to just keep it going. It depends. If the fish is following it, you might want to stop. Or if you see it miss, I see it miss, I just stop and watch. Boom, he comes back and hits it. And that's going to come with your experience. Every fish could be a little different throughout the game. Again, not 100 foolproof, but the more you practice these things, the better off that you will get at them. Okay, that is a nice trophy there off a stop and go on a topper. Now here's one of these weird things in the game. Fishing Planet qualifies the buzz baits more as a spinner. I'm going to show you in a traditional manner, and that's why I'm saying I'm putting this in a topwater for me, at least in America. I think most of us would agree, and it's just a difference in cultures. That's not a knock. Maybe other places as well might consider this. Anybody watching this video, you might see there, again, I'm just getting that to the surface as quick as I can, and I'm actually just a straight retrieve, letting that propeller, so to speak, do the work on top of the water. That's why in real life I know I classify these. Again, watching this, I got this at 3 speed. I want to get it to the surface as fast as I can, letting off the speed, getting it to, as soon as I get it up there, and then I'm just doing a straight retrieve. Boom, he hits it right on top of the water. Just illustrating that buzz baits, using that on a topwater. Now we're moving down here in the last spot. Just going to the popper. Again, this is an auto pop or auto walk. Look around on my channel for that to get more, a little bit of intel there. Basically, you're wanting to reel. As soon as it hits, pop it a couple times. And the animation, as you can see, I'm just reeling and it's popping itself. This is what's referred to as auto walking, auto popping. Works on walkers, poppers, mice, that sort of thing. All up to you on how you want to do this, but I'm just showing you the difference. There's an auto pop, nice trophy here, taming. And then just for purposes of not keeping the video too long, 78-pound taming there. Now we're going to go over to what I mentioned before. This is actually a bait coin popper, very popular amongst the fishermen here on Fishing Planet. The green 70, 50, and 30, depending on what you're going for. Now this is actually a manual pop. As I hook in this uni here, as you can see, that was a manual pop, just real pop, that sort of thing. Just getting the rhythm. Again, all these things can miss on you. Again, it's going to come to gut instincts, and the more that you do it, the more that you'll develop your skills as using topwater. I did want to put this clip together to kind of show you I was fresh off the topwater kayak tournament here. I was able to take 8th place out of 700, so I was very proud of myself, and kudos to all those participating in that. I will continue this series and go and cover all the other lures in the game or the varieties. I hope this helps you guys out, so take care.